Today I'm here with my co-founder of Madewithlove, Jonas. It's actually about 20 years ago that we started working together, I believe.
Yep.
And actually today is the day that we founded the company 17 years ago. So great to have you here. Obviously you've been working with lots of customers over those years, mainly as a CTO. And we have seen lots of things passing by, but recently one of the things that we see, of course, slipping into the recruitment process as well is AI. And so I'd love to talk a bit about that. When talking about recruitment process, of course, you get to screen candidates. And what we see these days is that lots of candidates send in, for example, resume letters using AI and stuff like that. And of course, on that level, you can easily filter it out. But when it comes to actually assessing the technical qualities of the candidate, you need to have them do a technical assignment or something like that. And then it's a lot harder to assess, of course, if they're been using AI and if actually what they submit as a home-taking assignment still matters. Like, how do you look at that evolution?
Yeah, so instead of using a simple take-home assignment that they can have solved by an AI, we try to flip the question and just ask them, like, how do you want to prove to us that you are technically capable for the role we're recruiting for? So it could be anything from a piece of code that they talk about, or even almost a book of all of the projects they've been working on, or one specific one was about how do you refactor a bigger project. So they have to then talk about how they did that job. And that's a starting point for us to have a longer conversation where it becomes very clear whether it's their content or something that was generated.
And I'm thinking, for example, if you are pretty new into the fields, like it's a lot harder also to do something like that, like because you don't have like all the backgrounds and experience basically to come up with like this whole plan. Like, how do you go about that for like more junior people?
Yeah, for juniors, I think if you do it more of a pair programming session where you have one of our experienced developers work with with the recruit and just talk them through, like, okay, how are you reasoning about these things? What are you building? What are you thinking? That's an easier one for more junior profiles.
If the junior is then using AI during the programming, like, do you see it as plus, or is that something that you would?
I think it's almost mandatory to at least know how these tools can help you.
So it's almost gets suspicious if you're not using it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that also actually means that, first of all, you have to define a lot better, I guess, the job description before you start hiring, because the people need to be able to make such an assignment based on the role that they're applying for, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you should have done that before as well, but it becomes even more important if you want to go to these depths during an interview and really talk about, okay, how would you solve this specific thing, if you want to have that conversation. So it's you have to do.
You say, like, if you go in depth in your interview, that also means that the person doing the interview is ready to understand the technical stuff.
Yeah, that's actually very necessary. The technical assessment it's really about understanding the role, understanding what it takes to do a good job there. It's
so it comes down to important. Way more human interaction and conversation really than actual code.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, interesting.